Welcome to the Kingdom Culture Podcast that was created on purpose with a purpose to empower, uplift, and guide others to the center of God's perfect will. Kingdom Culture family, welcome back to the Kingdom Culture Podcast. I hope everybody's been having a great week. Today I want to talk about something that I think we've all dealt with at a moment in time in our lives, and that's comparison. You know, that feeling of looking at somebody else's life, success, relationships, friendships, anything else, and wonder our own self-worth, wonder if we're doing enough, wonder if, we'll ever get there, right? And I used to do that a lot, more than I want to admit, but I also know that I found a way to move from that mindset into self-acceptance. And that's what I want to walk through today, right? So it used to eat me alive. Honestly, I think growing up with the way that my leg was, it was just very easy for me to say, like, how come this person doesn't look like me, walk like me? Why am I the one that has to carry out life with a difference? And from childhood, I think I carried that into my adulthood, because at 19 years old, I had been in my business ventures and my first brand for 2 years, and I was successful, right? I made a little money. But there was 19-year-olds, right, that were further ahead of me, that they were making a lot more money, and I always questioned if I was doing enough work. So that brought me into just driving myself to the floor, to the ground. When I started my gym journey, I always knew that I wanted to be different in the gym because of the way that my leg is. I had to adapt quickly. And I knew that I could inspire other people, but I always caught myself looking at somebody else in the gym and being like, why doesn't my body look like that yet? Without realizing that a body that, is fit and really ripped takes years and hard dedication. But I just caught myself just comparing to other people a lot. And then, I started to wonder, like, maybe I'm behind, maybe I'm doing something wrong. But what I learned is that comparing yourself doesn't just steal your joy, it steals your focus from your own path and your own goals and your own things that you want to do. Because we're not supposed to look the same. You and me do not have the same goals, the same path, the same life. So that's when I realized that I had to stop comparing myself and shift my mindset into self-acceptance. Changed everything as well, was realizing that what I see in someone else doesn't take away from me. Somebody else's strength doesn't make me weaker. Somebody else's success doesn't make me a failure. And somebody else's beauty doesn't make me any less beautiful. I had to learn to catch myself when I had these moments. Instead of asking, why don't I have that? I shifted into the mentality of, like, what do I already have that I'm not appreciating enough? That little mindset shift helped me start practicing gratitude for my own journey instead of picking it apart. Another thing that I, got into was it takes time. I'm in my chapter 1 in whatever part of my journey it was, and they're probably in chapter 20, chapter 15. So comparing yourself to somebody that's been doing something for years is, robbing you of your focus. Don't compare yourself to somebody that's been doing something you want for longer than you. And I also knew that I needed to find things to do to shift my mindset, right? So here's the first thing that I put into practice when I caught myself in this comparison stage was I slowed down, took a step back, and I named 3 things that I love about myself in that exact moment. So it wasn't anything big, but I knew that those were things that I truly, truly loved about myself. So like my smile, I really enjoy my smile. My hair, I take care of my hair like I take care of my child. It's kind of crazy. And my sense of humor. I think I'm super funny if you get to know me deeply. So those are the 3 things that I kept reminding myself of like, hey, Avril, you have a beautiful smile, you have beautiful hair, and you're hilarious. And doing that at that moment shifted from comparing myself to somebody into loving myself more, right? So what are 3 things that you can look for in yourself right now that you love to get you out of that comparison mindset? And then I asked myself, what do I need right now to feel supported? Because sometimes comparison shows up when we're running on empty, when we're tired, burned out, or disconnected from ourselves. So I always would, ask myself, what do I need right now to feel supported? And then I also, I have a best friend. Her and I are very close. I actually just saw her in Florida. I always text her, and I'm just like, hey, I need some support. Give me a word of life. Give me a word of life. I need support right now. And she will text me back and tell me the beautiful things of our friendship, the way that she sees me, the way that, just encouraging words so that I could get out of that mindset. So if you have somebody like that is also a good step to take when you're in comparison, right? I remember one time I'm like, why am I not where I need to be? And she texted back and was like, because it's in God's timing, not yours. And I was like, oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I'm getting into that mindset of like, it's in my own way, my own will, but that's not my truth. My truth is it's in God's timing, and I trust in that. So because I trust in that, I stopped, my comparison to those people. But anyway, I really hope this helped you, and that you stop comparing yourself, right? I want to leave you guys with a Bible verse this week that I found, and I found it to be perfect because it helps us with this mindset. It's in Galatians 6:4. Each one should test their own actions, then they can take pride in themselves alone, without comparing themselves to someone else. So this reminds us that our journey is unique, and God calls us to focus on our own growth rather than measuring ourselves against others. That is amazing, right? Because I never thought about it that way. I never said, like, let me find wisdom in the Bible. What does God say about comparison, Because you had 12 disciples, and I'm like, probably they did compare themselves, If you haven't watched The Chosen, watch The Chosen. That whole show is amazing because you actually get to see their interactions. But this was cool because I never thought that God would have wisdom about that. And he calls us to just focus on our own path, focus on our own lives, and, praise where other people are at. Be happy for them. Show joy, show encouragement, show love. Because truth is, we're not on the same path. Our lives are not the same. Our backgrounds are not the same. Our childhoods weren't the same. Where we started, is not the same. So there's no point of you comparing yourself to other people at all. But anyways, if you found this helpful, please share it. Share it on your social media, whatever, or drop a comment and tell me what you found more helpful. I'd love to hear from you guys. And we will see you guys next week. Like, share, subscribe, all the things. Remember that I love you, but that the Lord loves you more. Always, always, always. God bless.